Hey everyone, welcome to SSDP's Chapter Activity Tracker Training. This video is going to go over what the SSDP CAT is, why we use it, and then of course how to use it. So if you've been with us for a while or if you've looked at the Chapter Activity Tracker in the past, you'll notice that we have made some changes for the 2018 and 2019 school year, which is super exciting. We've done a full redesign of the system, changed up a few pieces of the functionality, changed up how it looks, and overall we're trying to make this a better experience for both the students and chapters that work with us, and then of course for staff. So before I go into some of those technical changes, I want to talk a little bit about what the SSDP Chapter Activity Tracker is. So it's an online interface for SSDP chapters to log the activities they're engaging in. This is really a way for us to get a deep understanding of the work that SSDPers are doing across the globe, give us a sense of the things that are important to students, the things that give students any sort of challenges or trouble, and of course the awesome successes and cool things that SSDPers do in their day-to-day work. This is also a good way for SSDP to reward people for their good work doing policy change, activism, peer education, and movement building, right? So when you tell us what you do and you log your activities, we'll be giving you points that you can cash in for real resources that generally cost money, but again will be given to you sort of in exchange for your activism, which is really exciting. Finally, the SSDP Chapter Activity Tracker is meant to be descriptive rather than prescriptive. And what I mean by that is you'll see that there's a subset of activities that we give points for. The idea is not that those are the only things that we give points for, but rather that they will describe and be a best fit to tell us the things that come naturally to you as an SSDPer as you're working with us and as you're working to end the war on drugs. So don't feel confined by the 36 different activities that we reward. Instead, use them as guidelines or a framework. Think about, as you're doing things, what sort of activity is this? What is it that you're actually engaging in? And, tell us about it so that we can reward you, track, and understand the work that's going on. The final piece here is that if you're looking at the Chapter Activity Tracker, if you're doing work as an SSDPer and you're feeling lost, you can use those activities and those categories as a guide to get you started. So if you're not sure what to do one day, pop open the list and see what's going to get you the most points, right? Because we tend to incentivize more heavily the activities that we think are more effective in working to end the war on drugs as student activists. So that's kind of what the Chapter Activity Tracker is and what it's for, some of the philosophies behind it. Let's dive into actually using the Chapter Activity Tracker. So again, we've changed the interface a little bit, although it still lives at the same place. So you'll want to go to cat.ssdp.org. Part of the interface changes, we've actually made this a little more mobile friendly. So you'll see now I've just switched over to a mobile view in my browser. And if you were looking at this on, say, an iPhone 6S, we've got a much easier drop-down menu. Things fit in the screen a little bit better. You can see the chapter list here. If you were to look at an individual chapter, you would see that a little bit better. Just in general, we've made it a little bit easier for people to use on their phones because we know that folks are, on their phones all the time, and sometimes it's a hassle to have to get to the desktop to, log the activities that you've been doing. So you'll receive an email from me with your login information. So for now, let's say I'm Arizona State University. I would log in my username, which is the full name of my school with spaces, my password here. Again, you'll receive an email with this. Here you are. You'll be taken back to the home page where when this is active and folks have been adding activities, you'll see the activity feed, you'll see what people are doing, you'll see who's doing it and for how much. If you want to add activities, easy enough, you'll go to the control panel here at the top. There's one button right now for log activities. We have other functionality in the works, but for now this is the important piece. You'll be taken to the log activity page. Click on the drop down, you'll see the activities are sorted by movement building, policy change, training, and education. We will have a search bar functionality eventually, so you won't always have to scroll through this, but right now it's about 36 activities and not too bad to scroll through. So let's say that you had an election for your chapter, and you elected a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer, right? So that would be each new officer recruited and trained, and then you get 5 points per semester. So this happened, say, in the spring semester, and like I said, you did 3 different officer positions, which would be 15 points because it's 5 points per semester per position. So you enter your points. If you've got any descriptive information about it, leaving a note is great. So you could say, we elected a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. There you go. Click submit. We'll tell you thanks for logging your points. It'll bring you back to a blank thing in case you want to log more points. If you'd like to see the leaderboard, so now you can see Arizona State University, having logged those 15 points, is now at the top of the leaderboard. You can click on their individual page. You can see that in the chapter building bucket, they've earned 15 points. Here's their specific activity feed, each new officer recruited, the note, and the points here. If you want to get a look at what each activity is, defined as, we have an available activities page where you can see them broken down by category, by activity, with descriptions and point counts for them. We also have this in Spanish. If you've got other questions, we have a frequently asked questions page about what it is, why you should use the CAT, how you add points, how you spend points. Talk about spending points now. You can spend points by going into the store, where we've got a Google form here. Fill out your information, your email address, your name, your phone number, the chapter that you're with, or the school or campus that you're at. Select your order. We have some different things in the store to buy. If you're ordering shirts, we need your sizes and colors, and then of course give us your best mailing address. That's about it. You can view other chapters, see their progress here. You'll see on the activity feed, Arizona State University completed an action. Here's all that. And that's about it. So it's pretty simple. Like I said, we'll be adding some more functionality in the future to it. So for now, sit tight and really just keep on logging those points so we get a sense of what's going on. If you have any troubles, you can email me at Tyler, Tyler, at ssdp.org. I'm happy to help with any troubleshooting. If you have ideas for features and functionality, I'm happy to hear that as well. Part of this rebuild is that we actually have a lot more control over the system itself, and so we can build in a lot cooler features. So I hope this has helped a lot with, I hope this has helped teach you how to use the chapter activity tracker. Again, get in touch if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and get out there and end the drug war.